freaking the feet. Hello, everybody.
Oh my gosh. Can you believe that like just a few months ago, we didn't even know each other?
That is still to this day the craziest thing. I wake up every morning thinking, wow, I'm so happy that God brought Lisa into my life. Literally,
Mm.
like I texted you this morning, I'm so grateful for you. And I am seriously, this is such a divine meeting. The fact that we didn't even know
Oh,
each other a couple of months ago is crazy to me.
it is crazy because, and thank you for saying that and just acknowledging that and acknowledging that I send you these texts in the middle of the
Of
night.
course.
And, I'm sending you
Beautiful.
these just random songs that all of a sudden are popping into my head. And I'm like, oh, maybe Alyssa would like this song. And, I was thinking about that song all of a sudden, life is better, with you.
I
And,
like me
I
better
wanted
when
to send
I'm
it to you
with
because I'm
you.
like, yes, sing it for us for a minute. Life is better with you.
Yes, I like me better when I'm with you. I like me better when I'm with you. I knew from the first time, I seen from a long time, 'cause I
I
love it.
like me better than when I'm with you.
I like me better when I'm with you.
Yes, I like me better when I'm with you, Alyssa. So I just wanted to send that to you
You're
last night
gonna
and
be
just tell you that.
quiet.
I love you so much. And
I love
I
you.
love you, Mike, too, in the background back there, our producer, Mike Hall. Welcome everybody to the feed, Faces of Epilepsy Every Day. We are here as a community. There's over 50 million epileptics in the world, 3.4 million just in the USA alone. And I got a new statistic for you. More people with epilepsy, okay? This is huge, you guys, than autism, Parkinson's disease, MS, cerebral palsy combined. Combined. Think about that, okay? Because we hear a lot about autism. We do,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, we
Autism
do.
is a huge, huge community. And that we hear about autism all the time. We do hear about Parkinson's, not as large of a community, but yet more money is spent in research dollars for Parkinson's, which is only 1 million
Yeah.
people in the Parkinson's community, but yet there's 3.4 million, so almost triple the amount of epileptics, but yet less is spent in research for epilepsy. So I know it's incurable, but you know what? To me, I kind of go like nothing's incurable because I have
Nothing.
to
Yeah.
believe that actually we could have
Exactly.
a cure. I
I
think
agree.
it's a matter of time. So anyway, here we are.
Yes.
Alyssa, my beautiful co-host, and myself, Lisa
Hey.
LG. And Michael Hall that in the background. And today, Alyssa, what are we talking about? I'm actually really excited that we're going to unpack this subject. Feels big.
Oh, it is so big. We are talking about epilepsy burnout.
Yeah. Huge subject, you
So,
know?
a crazy huge subject because for those of you who have epilepsy who are watching, you know how hard it is to continue life when it gives you lemons. It is very, very hard. So we are going to get into all of the nitty-gritty with all of that today.
Yeah, because I think the burnout part goes both ways. Like, I feel like parents can also feel burnout, the caretakers of
Yes.
epileptics, because it's our children and we're going to doctors and nothing seems to help. Medications. Like, I always felt, Alyssa, that if my son was on seizure medication, that
Mhm.
his seizures would be stopped, and they never were. So there was kind of a level of like disappointment in
Yeah.
trying different medications, because I always thought, oh, well, pharmaceutical drugs, A to B, there's a real purpose in them.
Mhm.
But I always thought that, my son would be seizure free. And I never thought for a million years that I was going to lose him to SUDEP. It never really, I didn't even know what SUDEP was
Yeah.
until I lost my son to SUDEP. I never even knew what that term was. So, there were times where I felt very burnout because I felt like I was helpless, to
Yeah.
help my son, because I didn't really know what diet to put him on. I didn't know, like I said, even though we were changing his medications, it didn't seem to really help him because he was still having breakthrough seizures. And then when he got his lung abscess, and, so there was times where I just felt really emotionally depleted,
Yeah.
watching my son have these grand malls over and over and over and over again. And then also having educators not really understanding that when a child has a seizure, they're done for the day. They
Yeah.
are done. They are wiped out. They are exhausted. And there's no way you're going to put them back in a classroom. Like, they literally need to be sent home to sleep for the
No
rest of the day.
chance.
So I just feel like there's not enough awareness, there's not enough education, and we're all kind of just throwing spaghetti and, sort of just flying by the seat of our pants. And I'm wondering if that contributes to burnout, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
100%. And
Yeah.
when you're talking about your son like passing away from SUDEP, that the fact that that happened, you didn't even know what SUDEP was, and not to bring it up again, but like we are sending so much love, light, and healing your way. He was such an amazing soul,
Mm-hmm.
Lisa. And he
Thank you.
he will always go recognized, okay? Seriously, he will always go recognized. And we are going to continue to fight for this cause, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Forever, forever and ever. I want to know for you the like are you still kind of experiencing some sort of burnout? Like how have you handled
100%.
it?
All the time. Thank you for asking, because I thought I was going to be the interviewer today asking you all about burnout. But
You
I
can't
think,
intervene, man.
if we lead with this, absolutely, as a parent, I mean, and even after, like, even though I'm an advocate for epilepsy because my grief kind of like took me in that direction, there are days where I could go to a very dark place very, very quickly. And I have. And also, too, it's easy to do that when I see other parents suffering, and I see other parents hurting, and I see other parents losing their children to SUDEP, in these groups. And it's just horrible. It's really, really horrible. So it is easy to go in that place because you feel as though you're sort of responsible.
Yeah.
Like, if I could encourage them, or if I could say something to them or pray with them, just kind of be there as a support for them, as someone that's went through what they're going through, that can relate, to what they're going through. yeah, you can fall into burnout very easily, very, very easily.
And I feel like, especially with those who have epilepsy, it won't go it's not gonna go away, to unfortunately. It's
Hmm.
forever. It's a chronic condition,
Yeah.
and even though you don't have epilepsy, you were a caregiver of somebody who did,
Hmm.
so you still experienced that, and it's still so hard, and I I wanna know, like, I'm curious to, for everybody that's watching too, and for you, Lisa, when you are experiencing the burnout,
Hmm.
what are some things that you remind yourself that
Yeah.
keep you going, that don't pull you back into that dark place that you were talking about? Because I know for me, I do a lot of meditation. Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on.
No,
Say
I'm
that
here.
again.
I unmuted. Yeah, it's, I think like the biggest thing for me is the support system that I have around me. Because if
Mm,
I don't have support around me, that people that I feel safe with, and I think that's the other thing is these communities that I realized afterwards, they are safe spaces.
mhm,
Faces of Epilepsy community is a safe space for epileptics, for parents of epileptics, caretakers, siblings of epileptics and epileptics himself. So I think that that actually makes a difference when you just have like huge community around you that can support you in a safe
mhm.
space to help you be able to decompress and share and not feel judged by that and not see it as like weakness,
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
think a lot of times we think, oh, we have to have it all together and we have to, look a certain way and we have to show up, with it all together all the time. And there's nobody that has it all together 100% of the time. Like it's
Say
okay.
it louder for the people in the back.
you know? And I think that I was even in a service on Sunday, and the pastor was talking about the most beautiful thing about like Peter or King David in the Bible was because they were real with God, even though they messed
Yeah.
up. They were still real. They were authentic,
Of
and
course.
I think that makes
Honest.
I think that makes a big difference. Is that we have to just have people around us that we cannot feel afraid to share truth with. I mean,
Yeah.
there are times, Alyssa, that I have felt suicidal after my son's passing. I mean, just that's how dark, like I could go to some really, really dark places. And when I go there, I
I'm
think
here
about
with you.
other parents that are going through similar things. So when
Mm,
I see them, kind of struggling or I see them wobbly, I'm like, wow, that was her only son that she lost, or that was their beautiful daughter that they lost at 18 or 26 or whatever the age is. And I don't know, some days are just harder than others. Like it just comes in waves and there's
yeah.
different things that remind you of them. And I think it's just make sure the most important thing, I think the biggest, best advice I can give is just make sure you're not isolated. Don't let the enemy isolate you. Get in community, get with safe people that love you, won't judge you, and will care for you, and that will be there for you. It's so, so, so important. We're here for you, everybody. We just want to let you know that you can call us anytime.
Yes.
We're very open about how to get in touch with us on Facebook or TikTok, or it's like we've got somebody all the time
Yes.
that will talk to you for sure and pray
And
with you.
absolutely. And if we don't answer right away, eventually we will get there. Again, we are just starting out. It will 100%, it will be there soon.
Yeah. So I have a question for you.
I'm
Because
ready.
on the parent side, we're always talking about in these groups with the parents, like, it's kind of we'll hear like something going on in the bedroom, like something will drop, and then it'll be like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I know we're talking about burnout today. Do you ever feel pressure by people that might play a part in your burnout with regard to epilepsy, with people checking on you all the time? Or is it kind of the opposite of that? Like maybe you're not acknowledged enough, that you have epilepsy. How does that work?
So, do I ever feel burnout that they're asking me about,
Yeah, like
like,
relationship burnout. Like, if your parents are asking you, are you okay? Are you okay? Are they always asking you if you're okay? Like, I remember I was asking Judah all the time if he was okay. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you alive? Are you breathing? Are you awake? You
yeah.
know?
So, actually, that's such a great question because I didn't even think about that enough until I started having, this is so sad to say too, until I started having like more grand malls.
Yeah.
My mom started asking me, Liz, hey, I heard something drop. Literally, are you good?
Mhm.
I was like, yes,
Mhm.
I just dropped my mascara, or I just dropped my phone. Like, I I didn't realize that, well, my independence is taken away
Mhm. Mhm.
100%
Yeah.
when it comes to everything. Like, you can't even go to the bathroom without, like, like,
Right.
locking the door. Like, you can't lock the door when you go to the bathroom type thing. Independence is shot. But yeah, I've definitely seen my family get a lot more precautionary when it comes to me, like
Mhm.
very,
Mhm.
very like, oh my gosh, be careful going up the stairs or don't carry glass while you're like literally they are so like nitpicky's not the right word, but you know what I'm trying to
Protective.
say.
Protective,
Protective. Yes,
protective, and
yes.
there's a level of protection, that goes up, and then you're always, like, wanting to make sure they're okay, they have everything they need, they're good, that you guys are good,
Mhm.
and that you're well, and it's important, for
I
sure.
think I think my mom is at the phase right now where she doesn't want to show me that she's hurting.
Mhm.
And one, I know my own mother and I know because we're very close and I can
Yeah,
see when she's, holding stuff back.
yeah,
And I can see how she's hurting and I can see when
yeah.
she's not being her,
Mhm,
100% honest.
mhm,
And it hurts because I'm like, I'm able to handle it. But seeing that and like seeing that she's going through burnout as well,
mhm, mhm.
times four
Uh-huh.
because she's got four
Mhm,
kids
mhm.
on top of it going through other chronic illnesses too. It's
Mhm,
like, oh
mhm.
my gosh. But when it funnels down with just to me,
Yeah.
it's still every day is 100% a new
Mhm,
day when it comes to
mhm,
living with epilepsy and figuring out how to manage the burnout
mhm,
or
mhm,
manage the emotions that
mhm,
are
mhm,
coming with it, how I'm going to react to something my mother is going to say or my friend's going to
mhm,
say. If they misinterpret something, you never know. You never know.
mhm. Yeah.
So,
I feel like with parents, it's because we want our children, like in your mom's case or my case, we want our children to be well. We
yeah.
want them to be well, and when they're suffering or they're hurting or they have some sort of dis-ease in their body, we want to try to, as nurturers and as your moms, we want to try to help make that better. So if anyone's listening today and you're just burnt out because your family is checking on you and they are seemingly overprotective, please extend grace to us
Yeah.
because as your caretakers, we just want to make sure that you're good and that and that you're in a good space, and if we do it and we're overly protective and we're helicoptering a little bit,
It's
forgive us,
good.
and I just stand in proxy for all those parents out there that are like,
Mm,
I'm not going to stop because there's a level of insecurity as parents that we feel or as caretakers that we feel with regard to epileptics, when they're around us, friends of ours or, our children or, we just, even when you came and we were in person together, I just want to make sure, that you're good. Like you're getting good rest, you're hydrated, you're eating well, all the things that I
Yeah.
know will
Mhm.
help get you out ahead of having a seizure.
And
Um,
that's perfect. That means that's showing that you care. It's beautiful that you guys are overprotective and showing that amount of care, to me at least. And I want to know for other people who are watching as well, like,
mhm,
do you see what Lisa's explaining as overbearing, or do you see it more so as like a, oh, protectiveness? I want to help my child and what they're going through. I don't want them to experience
mhm,
this. I just want to make it
mhm,
easier for them.
mhm,
I
mhm.
want them to not go through this crazy amount of dis-ease that they don't
Right.
deserve,
Yeah.
that they don't need in their life right now. But
Mhm.
no, I'm telling you right now, I appreciate having a bunch of eyes and ears around me at all times, because if I wasn't seen that one time I went back in my grand mal,
Mhm, mhm.
it could have ended pretty badly, because
Yeah.
that was one of the
Yeah.
worst ones I've had so far.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I am very, very grateful that my mom and like you guys would be right there. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to make sure that you're safe. So, how do you feel about epilepsy as far as on the daily basis? Like, do you feel that you're exhausted like
Oh yeah.
all the time? Like, that's the other thing is I didn't realize until afterwards. And I think if there was one area that and I would love for Mike to kind of opine on this as well if he could, but I feel like that's one area I would definitely like to see more awareness and advocacy brought to is educating the public that people with epilepsy have all of these other byproduct challenges. They're exhausted, their cognitive function isn't always there, sometimes they have short-term memory loss. There's different, I guess, they can't drive, there's a sense of
Yep.
like loss of independence might be connected with feeling unworthy.
Yeah.
I wish more people understood that it's not just epilepsy. This is how I would state it. I wish more people understood, Mike, that epilepsy is not just having a seizure.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
That's what I wish people understood, because one out of every 10 people will have a seizure. That does not mean they're diagnosed with epilepsy, okay? But being diagnosed with epilepsy is not just you're diagnosed because you have a seizure. Does that make sense, Mike? Do you
Absolutely.
understand where I'm coming from? Do you hear my heart on that?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's one of those not everybody who has a seizure has epilepsy, but everybody who has epilepsy has seizures, basically.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Man, I don't even know where to begin. Other than I agree with you, and I think we have to figure out a way to, because we live in the meme world, right? And that's why
Mhm.
I love our group,
Mhm.
and I love the movement, because we need to find ways, and we're doing it, but to
Mhm.
continue to find ways to kind of compartmentalize this in a way, or say it all in one quick easy way, because that's the
Mhm.
only way kind of people get things now, are in those
Mhm.
smaller
Mhm.
bite-sized pieces, I
Mhm.
think. But
Mhm.
yeah, man, just so much. I think one of the major things that people need to understand is that you can be fully functional, you can have a job,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
may need some, what do you call it, consideration, if you will,
Mhm.
but you can have a job,
Mhm.
you can do amazing things, especially work from home jobs,
Mhm.
Mhm.
more popular now than ever, that kind of
Mhm.
thing. Um, if you want, you can hang out in our chat and just tell us how great we are, that's fine
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think people need to understand that it is it's just, I don't think people understand. I think the average person, if you say, "Hey, I have epilepsy. They're like,
Mhm.
okay, bummer. That means you have seizures sometimes. It's like,
Right.
Yeah.
no.
They
It's
don't
a
understand the whole 9 yards of what epilepsy really is.
exactly. And I think that it's something they should educate school teachers on and
100%. Yeah.
anyone who's involved in public
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah.
things like that. So,
Yeah.
that's my feeling on it.
And I think we are making some strides in that. I saw New Jersey actually, Liz, your state is pushing very hard for education within the schools. And they did pass laws that um, that's a great point, Mike. Every teacher, educator, schools would be trained on how to handle children when they have a seizure, because it's not just the seizures only, but I think that part of that education is helping kids to understand, don't be afraid, don't run away. But then
Yeah.
of course there's all this other um possible burnout from epilepsy, which is nausea from the medications, tiredness from the
I was just about to
medication,
get into that too.
brain fog, fatigue,
Yep.
depression. I mean,
Yep.
and the list goes on and on and
I
on.
was
Mood
just about to
swings,
say.
and so I think that also needs to be brought into the education piece
Yeah.
for teachers to understand. This isn't like, oh, this child just shows up every day, just normal, because every time they have a grand mal seizure, their brain is
Literally short circuiting, kind
that
of.
short circuiting, and it's also being damaged. It's being
I
damaged.
wanted
Mm.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. That's deep.
Mhm.
Because the fact that you just said flat out their brain is being damaged,
Mhm.
that is what I know. That's what I
Yeah.
realized when I
Mhm.
was in my thoughts today. I
Mhm.
was like, wow,
Mhm.
even if you have a seizure, regardless if it's a grand mal or a
Mhm.
focal, you're still getting a little bit
Mhm.
of brain damage. It's sad. It
Mhm.
is, it's
Mhm.
really
Yeah.
sad.
Mhm.
And getting the education that we need in order to make sure that person who is going through that is
Mhm.
safe and secure while it's
Yep.
happening, and they don't feel um insecure when they come out of it. They
Mhm.
feel safe, they feel accepted, seen. They're not being forced into a scene in which feel
Mhm.
uncomfortable in, meaning like if they had a seizure in school, they're not released back into the school setting, they can
Mhm.
go home. Like we said, that was 100% needed.
Mhm.
I didn't get diagnosed with epilepsy until after high school, so I
Mhm. Mhm.
didn't grow up in that setting, like having
Mhm.
seizures while going
Mhm.
through that.
Mhm.
So I want to know, for the people who are watching who have had that happen,
Mhm.
what have you noticed? Has there been any differences? Has there been any things that you noticed within your school and what they've done for you? Um,
Mhm.
like what do you do when it happens? How do you
Mhm.
handle it?
Mhm.
But I I just I want to send so much love out there to the
Mhm.
people that are
Yeah.
experiencing those type of seizures daily,
Yeah.
because
Very
it
hard.
it is so freaking hard, especially when you are getting just the damage. I
Yeah.
just I can't stop thinking about how people are drug resistant to this epilepsy and like the epilepsy stuff, having
Mhm.
seizures, and it's still not being,
Mhm.
like you said earlier, it's still not being seen as it should be. Wow.
Yeah, this is a really big deal because the cognitive function, and when I say
Yes.
damage that's happening to the brain, it's the cognitive function that starts to decline. And
Yes.
even though, okay, again, I'm going to get up on my little stats here. 3.9 billion dollars, okay, is spent 15 times more in research dollars for dementia and Alzheimer's, okay? 15 times. more money, 3.9 billion compared to epilepsy, which is $240 million spent in research a year. Okay. And I also would say that even some of that money, again, awareness, education, so none of that is happening. And it's really needs to start at the school level, because the children are the ones that are suffering, because they're getting diagnosed earlier, trending
Mhm.
is earlier, and they're the ones that are losing their lives to epilepsy. So I think it's definitely something that we need to bring more awareness, 100%. And I get like frustrated and burnt out. From
Yeah.
how do we figure this out? How do we get more? What do we need to do? We need to do, change.org petitions. We need to do, what can we do?
What could you do to actually
to bring
help?
more awareness? Like, I'm trying to figure out, okay, how can I get all these hotels in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the month of epilepsy awareness, to put all their hotel colors purple? Like, you know what I mean? Because it's such a beautiful city at nighttime. But that's
It
like my
is, yeah.
goal, is like, how can I get them all to just one night do it all for Epilepsy Awareness Month, and every hotel
You'll be
put
able
their
to.
colors purple? So if anybody can do it, it's me, in Jesus'
It
name.
is. In Jesus'
So,
name,
Mike,
yes.
I'm gonna try, Mike. I'm gonna try.